Good. In accordance with RSA 198:20-C, Roman numeral 2, a public hearing will be held by the Conval School Valley School District for the purpose of expending funds from the Conval Building Capital Reserve Trust Fund for repairs to the high school parking lot. Could I have a motion to bring this forward? Just a motion? Or? Okay. Right. Okay. All right. So, Tim, will you present to us what we want to expend the funds for, please? And then I'll ask for a motion, Jim.
So yes, the request to repair the high school parking lot is for $1,574,468. What that does is takes care of all the ADA compliance issues at the high school, which were cited by a civil rights compliance review we had by the DOE last year. All applicable processes referenced for compliance with the state DOT standards in the ASTM, which stands for American Society of Testing Materials. What we'll end up with is a well-lit, traffic calming parking lot with pedestrian walkways. We'll also have cameras in the parking lot, added cameras in the parking lot, I should say. And there'll be, we'll put sleeves underneath the asphalt for solar car charging when or if we see fit. As you can see, hopefully you can all see the plan that I gave you. The highlight didn't come out quite as dark on your plan. I'm sorry for that. But it is the entire parking lot, and it is all of the walkway that was not done in the first phase back in 2013. So the paving goes all the way around the back of the building to where the maintenance garage and where the cafeteria is as well. The process was, obviously we contracted with Nobis Engineering. Vendor, not selection is not the word I'm looking for, vendor calls were made. We had 13 vendors called, 2 of them responded, 11 declined because they don't have capacity. And after reviewing the 2 people that gave us bids, they decided to go with, we decided to go with Osgood United for that figure that I gave you of $1,574,000 and change. Yes.
Do I have any questions from the public around the proposal? Any questions from the board?
No, if you continue one down, there was a $75,000 ad, Jim, for lights, for the lighting. So the 1,499, 468 plus 75,000 should be that 1,574, 468 or 486. Okay. 1,574, 486 should be the motion. That's at 499, 486 plus 75,000 for the lighting.
Differences. On ours, it says 1,445, and you're saying 1,499.
No, I'm on the second page. That should be, that's the first page. Oop. Right there. It's that number plus 75. $1,574,486. Yep. That is a lump sum price including unsuitable materials plus lighting.
Are there other questions from the public? Yes, sir. Just state your name, your town, please, and you come to the mic.
This is working. Yep. All right, cool. Jared Chisholm, Peterborough. Question I have is, does anyone involved in the selection of the vendors or the decision-making process have any potential conflict of interest with the vendor selected or recommended?
To our knowledge, there isn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't like expecting. I just
Sure.
figured I would ask.
Well,
so-
thank you for asking.
No worries.
Any other questions? Do we have the number firmed up now? Okay, so I believe that we would close the public hearing and then bring it to the board for a vote. So, and we've got to open up each of these individually. So if there aren't any further questions, I'll close the public hearing on the parking lot request and funding. Could I have a motion to approve the amount stated by Mr. Grassi on the parking lot? Does that have a second? It's been moved and seconded. Any further questions? Yes. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion passes. I'm going to open up a second public hearing under RSA 198:20-C, comma 2. Hearing requesting expenditures of fund for the Special Education Expendable Trust Fund for an unanticipated costs related to student needs. Could I have some insight? Thank you.
Okay, so I need to just preface this that when we posted this public hearing, we had, as is so often with, particularly with special education, some significant changes. We would like to withdraw the request because we will likely have to bring an additional request for next year. And we would recommend that we encumber these dollars for this year from fund balance, because we now are anticipating 3 to 4 unbudgeted outplacements in excess of $350,000. If we use these dollars now, we will not have them for next year. Next year, we're running a tighter budget. So it is up to the board. We could expend the funds. We do need to expend the funds. There's not a lot of option here. But we do have money in our fund balance that we could use for this. I'm happy to take the direction of the board at this time.
Do I have any questions from the board about withdrawing this? And Jim?
Yes, this would be money that we needed this year. It's just about $300,000 this year, but if we spend that money, we'll be pulling down our capital, our reserve fund. And we know going into next year, we already have 3 unanticipated placements, leaving us with, right. No, you can't encumber monies for next year. This tuition we have had to pay this year. So we can't encumber You can't encumber dollars from this year's budget to pay next year's bills. You can't do that. That's illegal. But what we can do is pay this year's bills with this year's money. That way because we know we didn't budget for those items, we can hold on to the trust dollars because of those unanticipated costs.
So I would, if the board chooses to give us this direction, I would bring a budget transfer request to you at the next board meeting to transfer it into the appropriate line item.
Any other questions from the board? All right. The suggestion is to withdraw the public hearing. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. Abstentions. So moved. We'll close this public hearing and we'll open up our third public hearing. Under RSA 198:20-C, Roman number 2, a public hearing will be held by the Kentucky Valley Regional School District for the purpose of expending funds from the athletic co-curricular expendable trust funds for the costs related to athletics. Superintendent?
So this was specifically based on the decisions at the last board meeting. These dollars not anticipated in next year's budget. This will allow the swimmers to participate with Keene. It will cover their NHIAA dues. It will cover the officials, and it will cover transportation. All other costs would need to be fundraised. Yes. No, this is for next year.
Are there any questions from the public? Seeing none, any further questions from the board?
That
Tom?
was a total of 700, if my memory serves.
800.
Oh, 800, okay.
Any further questions from the board members? Then I could have a. Could I have a motion to approve the use of the funds?
Second.
It's moved and seconded. Any other questions? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. Abstentions? Seeing none, it passes. I close this public hearing at this point, and we will open school board meeting, starting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Superintendent, points of pride.
Okay, so I'm going to ask everyone here and at home to hold on because we have quite a list today. So, at the high school, start at the high school. Maybe I should want to see my list first, or? Okay, all right. All right, so 20 students showed off their business plans during the annual entrepreneurship trade show on June 1st. On over 20 CTE completer awards were distributed to seniors on Monday. These awards are given to students who complete all elements of a CTE program and demonstrate proficiency in the program competencies. 40 students received Cougar Cares Awards and several enjoyed an ice cream social. Recipients modeled and demonstrated the actions described in Conval Cares: community, adaptability, respect, engagement, and or safety. Senior trip to the Red Sox game was well attended and the students were just incredible. The senior class sponsors did an amazing job of organizing this event, and it was a well-oiled machine. 7 students participated in the Meet of Champions. Elise Robbins in the pole vault, state champion for D2. Kendrick Edwards was named to All-State for Division II. Morgan Beaumont was named to the first team All-State for softball. She will continue her athletic journey playing Division II softball at American International College. 154 awards will be given tomorrow at the academic and athletic awards ceremonies. So for those of you who are not sure what that is, from 9 to 11:30, the underclasses receive their awards, and then tomorrow evening we have our scholarship night for our seniors. At Peterborough Elementary School, they held a literacy night on Wednesday, May 31st to celebrate reading and their One School, One Book program. The entire school read Fenway and Hattie during the month of May and celebrated the completion with Literacy Night, which included showing student work, a PES PTO book fair, and hosting several therapy and facility dogs for the school community to meet. The PES Girls on the Run just completed the state 5K in Concord on Saturday. 14 students in grades 3 to 5 participated. Last week, the team held a lemonade stand and raised $450. I am in the wrong business. To be donated to the Dartmouth Children's Hospital as part of their community impact project. Pierce School. Claudia Sisson, many of you may or may not know Claudia, but Claudia Sisson was a longtime teacher at Pierce School. She's now a retired teacher. She was presented with the Doris Barnes Retired Educator Lifetime Achievement Award by the New Hampshire Excellence in Education Board this past week. We thank her for her continued commitment to education in our school and our district and to our students. FES. There was a successful family game night and field day this past week, and at AES, Antrim Elementary hosted an entertaining local storyteller, Simon Brooks, compliments of the Cliff grant from the Tuttle Library to benefit the school. Each child at Antrim Elementary School from preschool through grade 4 was able to take home 2 books of quality literature to share with their families. At Hancock Elementary School, Memorial Day was honored in a special way. 4th graders led the audience in the pledge, and it's a grand old flag. That was at Dublin Community School. The students spoke on the importance of the day and recited in Flanders Field. There were 2 guest speakers, Andrew Fletcher, who explained taps and ended the ceremony playing in it as the students silently left the assembly and received a flag. The other speaker, Matt Katka, is a Purple Heart recipient. He spoke on his experience in the military. now HES. At HES, the students at HES have been working diligently to create amazing thank yous for our town employees to honor them during the 3rd annual Hancock Employee Appreciation Event. Each grade level created something special to present to the different groups of town employees. Also, on Saturday night, I had the pleasure of attending the New Hampshire Excellence in Education Awards, and not only was Claudia Sisson provided or honored, so was Helfried Zerzavi from our high school for his technology integration and overall technology prowess. Finally, if you don't have a chance or don't do it already, all of those events were put out through our Conval News, or just about all of those events were featured on our Conval News. Please follow us at Conval News, and you can go to our website and get that follow information. Those were the points of pride.
Thank you,
We were
Superintendent. Catherine, student representative.
Okay, we got a lot going on these past few weeks and coming up. So, so 2 Wednesdays ago, we had the in-school concert where the band and choir performed, and it went amazingly. Also on that day was the New Hampshire Scholars Day to celebrate those qualified for that designation, which comes with a more rigorous course of study in high school, with 77 seniors with that achievement. So that's almost half of the class. The craft fair happened last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago. And that went very well. It was sponsored, or not sponsored, it was a fundraiser for the class of 2025 with good vendor turnout and fundraising. We also had the student council fundraising, which went well. That Saturday was also, or Sunday maybe, was Sunday, was Break the Silence, a 5K run held by the program, which showed incredible turnout in support for suicide prevention. And that program is organized by 2 graduating seniors, so hopefully they do more with that in the future. On June 2nd was the Performing Arts Awards ceremony called the Lucy's for Conval. For all those participating in theater programs, it recognized those who excelled. Also that day was elections for underclassmen, so congrats to all those who ran, and good luck to those serving next year. Let's see. Senior exams wrapped up today, woohoo. So that's the last tests of high school for most of us. And makeup days, I'm pretty sure, are tomorrow. Fall sports registration is now open, so you can go register for that on Family ID. Thursday is the senior breakfast, so that'll be kind of the last kind of get together for the class, socialization. Also on that day is the biology class field trip to McDowell Dam to learn more about conservation and ecosystems, which is very exciting. And of course, on this Saturday, it is graduation from 10 to 12. Reserve seats are for families, and if it's held outside, there is open space for the public in the bleachers or on the field. And bring your own chairs if you're coming from the public. And that is all I have.
So this will be your last appearance with us.
Possibly.
Well, there's another board meeting. Do you plan to come to that one also, or
I may.
you'll be graduated? So I don't think
This
we
one
have.
might be the last one.
So this should be your last one. But we want to thank you for your service and our gratitude for sharing. Before you leave Conval, you'll receive something from the board as a thank you gift from us.
I appreciate
But again, we just want to thank you for coming and sharing. And so the public knows what we always say to our student rep: when you finished, if you want to stay, because it's so entertaining, you may. But if you have other things you'd rather do, and if I'm a senior, I might have a few things I'd like to do, she's always free to leave. But anyway, so thank you, Catherine.
Thank you. I also want to thank all of you for giving me insight into the process of what the school board goes through, because it's kind of a special experience to be here every 2 weeks. So thank you all.
Approval of the manifest.
Right, I certify that manifests totaling $3,044,016.71 have been reviewed by me and found to be proper charges against Kentucket Valley School District for goods and/or services received and have been properly processed prior to their submittal to the school board.
Could I have a motion to approve the manifest? Second? It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, and any questions? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. Abstentions? Passes. Thank you. At this point in our agenda, we have a slot for public comment. We allow the public to speak to the board. We give you 2 minutes. If you would like to speak to us, please give us your name and the town you're from. And if you would like to speak, just raise your hand. I'll recognize you and have you come up. Okay. Seeing it, there's a second part too. If there's a second opportunity for public to speak if you are hesitant and you want to wait, but you can come now, whichever you'd like to do. Okay. Sure. That's okay. Please sit down, relax, turn on the mic. Just remember the camera's on you, you know, so don't be nervous.
Behind
Yeah.
you, they can see how beautiful the back of your hair is.
Oh, good. My name's Alicia Griffiths. I'm from Peterborough. I'm here with some other incoming fourth grade parents. For the following school year, our children are going to be in fourth grade, and we have heard about there being a reduction of teachers, and we're just here to request that we don't do that at PES if possible. I don't know if this is the right time for me to talk or bring that up, but this is why we're here. So if that is something we can discuss, or as parents come together to make it so that we can keep the amount of teachers that we have in the fourth grade currently for our incoming fourth graders, that is what we would like to do. So I don't know if you want to expand upon it, or if it's better to talk at the later time, but that is what we would like to bring to the board, our concern.
Thank you. It's not a dialogue the board has. It's an opportunity for the public to speak to the board about their concerns, which you have voiced. So we've all heard that. So I'm sure we will be moving forward with the board meeting. There's a second opportunity for public comment at the end of the board meeting. So if you have anything else you'd like to share, you can do that. But we don't get into a dialogue. It's just share with us, and we've heard you very
Okay.
clearly.
Okay.
So thank you.
I don't know if anyone else would like to add anything.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak?
Yeah.
Certainly. This is your second time tonight, so you're an expert now.
I know, yeah, I know what I'm doing now. I'll say my name again. I don't know if it's a separate recording, but Jared Chisholm, Peterborough. Like the lady before me, our daughter's going to be entering fourth grade at Peterborough Elementary School. My wife and I and our family moved here from Texas. This year's our first school year here, our first year ever having 4 seasons, which has been wonderful. One thing I want to call out, with the potential reduction in class size, actually the size of the classes here is one of the things that really drew us to Peterborough. In Texas, the class sizes are typically much larger. Our daughter was an average class size of 25 to 30 kids, and often the schools that were overflowing. It was really interesting moving here in the first 9 weeks, seeing where our daughter was, which there was a lot of room for improvement. But then seeing from where coming from Texas, but catching up that next 9 weeks, when she really had a chance to, get caught up with the rest of her classmates here. And then we started to see her excel. We really saw the impact of having a smaller class size and getting the time for the teacher to be able to get with each student and address the areas of growth that they had. So going to dropping a teacher and going to 2 classes, which I think would make it around 20 kids per class, we believe, and just from seeing it from our own anecdotal experience, of course, would have a negative impact on the outcomes, the educational and social outcomes of the kids that will be in 4th grade at Peterborough Elementary School. So I just wanted to share our perspective on that, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Consent agenda. Consent agenda. Could I have the consent agenda, any questions under the consent agenda from any board members? All right. Seeing none at this point, let's go to the superintendent's report.
Tonight, oh, sorry, can everyone hear me now? Okay, sorry about that. All right, so the monthly events calendar is obviously here. Graduation is Saturday. If you plan on attending graduation and you have not yet RSVP'd, you need to RSVP to me before you leave today. Okay, because I think some people may have forgotten, or you're not coming, which that's fine too. So graduation is the 10th, and the end of year celebration for our staff recognition and celebration is on the 16th. It begins in the afternoon. I believe it's at 1:30, and you are of course all invited to attend that if you like. Dick is also sort of invited, but he also has to speak, so we hope he shows up.
So does he.
Good. Just a reminder, we do have July here. July, typically we only have one board meeting. It is slated for the 18th right now. We typically do not hold subcommittee meetings during July. Are we changing that practice because we have communications, budget and property, and selectmen's advisory? It is usually the only time we can make sure everyone gets vacation, et cetera, et cetera.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Unless there was a request.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Brenda just let me know, she just did save as. So there is no communication meeting or budget and property, or selectmen's advisory during July. Okay, so those are the monthly events. School board requests, I actually think I am all caught up in school board requests. If that is not true, please send me an email so that I can get that done before the end of the school year. In your packet, there was the recommendation for a research project from the administration. We have a student who is from Lesley University. She is she's a staff member pursuing her PhD. I did share the information for that. It is the recommendation of the administration that you do approve that research project. Can answer any questions you might have.
Are there any questions before we bring this through for approval on the project? Seeing them, all board members who support this research project indicate by saying aye. Questions? A motion, yes.
I move that we approve the research project as recommended by the administration.
Second? So moved and seconded. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. Abstentions. It passes. Thank you.
So I am so pleased to bring to you kind of the conclusion of the work of one of the administrative or one of the superintendent / everyone else's too goals. And that was that we provide you with the charge and the recommendations for the processes and procedures, as well as a draft request for proposal related to diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. That is that was sent to all of you and is included in your packets. It's about 10 pages long, including the RFP. We're not looking for any decision or even discussion on this, but this is our opportunity to now turn that over to you for you to make decisions about. Part of your strategic plan, a major part of your strategic plan is a goal around diversity, equity, and inclusion and accessibility. And this begins that work. So, yay, administrators.
So board, I would ask you to read it over, study it. Our next board meeting will bring it forward for any discussion we need to bring this forward as is presented to us. So just be prepared for our next board meeting to do that. Questions? Janine?
So who would carry this out? The equity committee? Or is it the full board? Do we still have an equity committee?
This will be a full school board because equity is always going to be full school board.
Okay.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, then. All right.
So it's in your Google Drive. Yes, sorry. So when I say it's in your packet, that I am referring to your drive, and I apologize for the vernacular.
But we won't take any actions till next board meeting, so we're giving people plenty of time to look this over. So thank you. Thank you, William.
I'm sorry, I should have been more clear.
All right.
So, I want to talk to you. So in your packet is obviously our present enrollment. We are having some ups and downs in enrollment, and some changes. And I just want to give you kind of a snapshot of where we are right now. So we are potentially going to be coming to ask for additional staffing. As you recall, we cut staffing at the end of last year based on enrollment, and then we've had some enrollment shifts as well as some enrollment increases. We are potentially going to, part of that is we're going to need a teacher in Dublin because of the way the fifth grade is going to integrate into that building. We have had an increase in enrollment in second grade at PES, so we are going to need it and this is all in order to stay in the guidelines. We're going to potentially need a staff member in second grade at PES. You have heard regarding the fourth grade is right on the cusp of potentially needing somebody, and we are also watching our kindergarten numbers, which is of course always so joyous at this time of year, because we potentially may need to move kindergarten teachers around based on the numbers in kindergarten there. Furthermore, today, I don't even have this written down yet. Furthermore, today, I got a phone call from somebody that is moving into the district, which we love that, right? And they are moving to Hancock and will be bringing children along with them, and they will be adding to our second grade numbers, pushing that outside of our guidelines. So we cut 8 positions from the budget and potentially need 4 back. So that's where we are right now. I don't know if the board wants to take some action this evening. I do want to watch those kindergarten numbers.
I believe that I would like to bring a motion forward. I would like someone to bring this motion forward. I will share with you what I would like to see as a motion. I am concerned about the numbers at the fourth grade at PES. When I look across the district and I try to look at equity, And I know the burden that is placed on teachers inside in some of our larger elementary schools when students are placed there for good reason, but it put extra demand on the staff within that building to deal with those students that come from other communities. I would like to have the board put a motion forward to reinstate the fourth grade teacher that was reduced. The other part to keep in mind here, the following year, the incoming fourth grade class would require a third teacher. So my experience as an educator is that the continuity of instruction is critical. And having a teacher there, then not there, then having a teacher back breaks that continuity, particularly when they work as a team, particularly when you look at curriculum changes and adjustments. Having that continuity is critical to instruction. So if I could have a motion from a board member to reinstate the fourth grade teacher at PES, I would entertain that motion.
I move that we, the board reinstate the fourth grade teacher at PES.
Could I have a second? It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Sure. What do you want me to run through exactly? So there's going to, for PES specifically, there is going to be 22 in second grade. For in each class would be 22. So the numbers is 44 for next year in second grade. Fourth grade. No. There are 40 in first grade right now. You're looking at I don't know which one you're looking at. Thank you. So that's an increase. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the projected numbers from last year. So what is? So second grade is going to increase to 44, but we decreased the teachers by 2. So that would be 22 in each classroom, which would be outside of our guidelines. Fourth grade is going to be 40, which puts them right just under the guidelines. The guideline in kindergarten is 15 to 18. The guideline in first and second grade is 18 to 20. The guideline in third and fourth grade is 20 to 22, and after in fifth grade and up is 25, really, 25 to 30. And when there's a multi-age class, we always use the younger. So if it's a K1, we would use 15 to 18. If it was a 1-2, we would use 18 to 20. We always use the youngest grade guideline.
No, the motion is just to add a fourth grade teacher. We're not.
About 80 grand, including 85. I'm sorry, it's about 85,000. It's an estimated 85,000, and that includes benefits. So right now, actually, we just did. So we always have budgeted one position. We always budget for an extra teacher. Because of this situation, I asked Lori to do an analysis of our delta so far. So our delta right now is pretty strong, and it's only salary, and it's about 150,000. I'm sorry. So delta is the difference between what we budgeted for a staff member and having a staff member leave and where we hire somebody in. So say the person that left was going to make $80,000 next year. We don't actually have any teachers who are on a salary step that says 80,000, but that's beside the point. They were going to make $80,000 next year, and we hire someone at 60, that's a $40,000 salary delta. We then, there's also that, so it's $150,000 just in salary delta. So that does not include the difference in FICA or retirement or benefits. at this point. So we're in a pretty good position as far as Delta is concerned. Yes.
So any other further questions from board members? So again, I just want to share with you in the motion, two critical parts here. The equity across the district and the continuity of study over a 2-year period. To me, the continuity of study is the most critical piece. And having that continuity is critical when you're bringing new students in and you have a teacher there that has been there the year before. So that's a critical part. So we have a motion, it's been seconded. Are there any other further questions? So the motion is to reinstate the 4th grade teacher at PES. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. Abstentions. And
I'm abstaining. I have a grandchild.
the motion pass. Superintendent.
So I would ask the board to consider, please, adding a teacher to the 2nd grade at PES.
A request to add a 2nd grade teacher to PES. Could I have a motion?
I move that we add a 2nd grade teacher at PES.
Could I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Questions from board members?
Remember, we have a we have a teacher in the budget. We always carry a spare teacher. Then this is a 2nd teacher, and then I'm going to ask for the teacher at DCS. So, well, we have the teacher in the budget that we just used. We just used the teacher in the budget for the PES 4th grade. Now I'm asking for a second grade teacher at PES to meet the guidelines. So that would have used half of the delta. And then I'm going to ask for a teacher at DCS. I'm going to use the delta today. Right now we have the numbers. I'm going to wait on asking for the Hancock position until the students register. But I want to be upfront that I'm going to be asking for another position probably next on the 20th, as soon as those students register.
Dan?
I don't know if this is a place to discuss Hancock, but I'm getting a slew of concerns from parents. They're not here tonight, but they are concerned about the population, combined classrooms, and there's been little communication to them about what is, or so they say, as to what is happening. And I know there's some special needs students in some of those classrooms that require some extra attention. So at some point, I'd like to discuss Hancock.
Right now, we have a motion that's been seconded to approve a 2nd grade teacher at PES. Any other questions on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. Any abstentions? It passes. Thank you, Dan. I hear you, and I'm sure we'll have a discussion. Superintendent.
So my last request for this evening is for DCS in order to accommodate reasonable class numbers in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, because we do have 5th graders remaining there. We need a teacher.
Could I have a motion to add a teacher for the 5th grade in Dublin Consolidated School?
I move that we add a teacher at Dublin Consolidated for the 5th grade combination.
I have a motion. It's been seconded. Any questions? Jim?
So for the last 2 years, there has not been a 5th grade. So the students in Dublin have the option to go to SMS or stay in Dublin. For the last 2 years, none of the students have opted to stay. This year, we have 5 students remaining in Dublin. And whenever there's 3 or more, we told them until 2026 that we would continue to, that was a motion on behalf of the board. Happy to bring that information to you on the 20th if you would want more information about that.
There's a motion. It's been moved and seconded. Add a teacher at Dublin. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. Abstentions. Seeing none, it passes. Thank you. Anything else, Ms. Superintendent?
Not until the 20th.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll have more kindergartners or I'll have a solution.
All right, Selectmen Advisory Committee meeting. Catherine, who did a wonderful job, by the way, board members that night, explaining to the selectmen. I was very impressed, and so were they.
Well, thank you very much. So I think we had a very productive meeting at the Selectmen Advisory Committee meeting. As you know, that they set the agenda and the topics of discussion that we'll go over at the meeting. And I think that moving forward, the selectmen are very excited to collaborate and partner more and share even more information on what's going on in their communities as far as whether it's economic, whether it's their projects, their needs, their programs that they're running, and how we can collaborate even further with the school district moving forward. So thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Strategic Organization Committee, I'll report out on the committee. The committee met. We interviewed 2 companies to come forward. We have selected a company which we will bring forward to the board tonight. We'll think we need to go an executive session for that, for negotiations, and we're moving forward on that. It was very productive. Both organizations did a wonderful job, and but I think clearly when we share with you that we saw one that was outstanding, and we'll sort of bring them forward later. So once we have that, we'll bring it forward to the board for a vote once we have a contractual agreement to bring forward to you. I don't know if there was anything else we need to share on strategic planning other than that we're moving forward. Okay, thank you. Old business, the consolidation reconfiguration RFP. I don't know that we need to move forward on that tonight until we have more information to bring forward. So we'll wait on that until we've met with you about a contractual agreement. Permission to hire.
So it is that time of year again when we need to be able to hire a teacher or another member of the staff at the drop of a hat. So the board traditionally grants me the permission to hire and enter into agreements with staff members so that we don't lose staff to other school districts.
I'd like to have a motion that we allow the superintendent to do hirings in the summer without having a board meeting to make that possible. Can I have a motion, please? So moved to second. It's been moved in second. Any questions? This is typically, we do this every year during the summer. So it's kind of standard operating procedure. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Abstentions, it passes. Thank you. This is our second opportunity for public comment. If there's anybody in the public that would like to speak to the board, please indicate so and we'll recognize you. Okay, not seeing anyone. Okay, well, thank you for being here, public. We appreciate it when you come. Could I have a motion to go into non-public session under RSA 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2? A motion? Can I have a second? By name, please. Dick? Got to give our name to go into non-public. William. We're going to non-public. Thank you.
Can I rent these from